This is the KRUI News at Noon, brought to you in part by the Daily Iowan. This is KRUI, Iowa City.
Iowa City, and the temperature is 54 degrees. For KRUI News, I'm Megan Rowley.
I'm Jiayun Wang.
Here are the top headlines for this Wednesday morning.
A third tuition freeze may no longer be on the horizon.
Facebook and Apple have good news for their female employees.
Another health worker in Texas tests positive for Ebola. The worker reported a fever on Tuesday and was immediately isolated at the hospital. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that the infected workers was on a flight from Cleveland to Dallas on Monday, the day before she reported symptoms. Because of the proximity in time between the Monday evening flight and the first report of her illness, the CDC wants to interview all 132 passengers on her flight.
A third tuition freeze may no longer be on the horizon. Some University of Iowa students are in danger of paying more for college for the first time since 2012. The State Board of Regents will discuss the 2015-2016 tuition proposal at its October 23rd meeting in Iowa City. The proposal includes a suggested 1.7% increase on undergraduate resident tuition at the University of Iowa. Implementing another freeze would depend on increased legislative funding.
Facebook and Apple have good news for their female employees. They will pay to freeze your eggs. Facebook is already covering the procedure as part of its insurance benefits, while Apple plans to offer coverage starting in January. Egg freezing allows women to focus on advancing their careers during peak childbearing years without sacrificing their fertility.
The Hong Kong protests have turned violent. Hong Kong police arrested dozens and moved to stop protesters from reoccupying a major road outside the government headquarters. A TV station's video clip shows police officers in Hong Kong today apparently beating a handcuffed pro-democracy protester during an operation to clear the streets. Other scuffles broke out with the authorities, and dozens were arrested in the worst violence since the rallies began more than 3 weeks ago.
Supreme Court allows Texas abortion clinics to reopen for now. The Supreme Court ordered Texas not to enforce a law that had effectively shut down several clinics that provided abortions. The court's order means those clinics can reopen immediately. The restrictions had gone into effect in recent days, but a number of abortion rights supporters asked the justice to intervene on an emergency basis. There was no immediate reaction from state officials to the Supreme Court's one-page order.
Whole Foods is now providing ratings in the produce aisle. The upscale grocery chain starts ranking fruits, vegetables, and flowers today as good, better, or best based on the supplier's sustainable farming practices. The sustainability rating is based on factors like pesticide and water use, the treatment of workers, and waste management.
Now for sports. University of Iowa head football coach Kirk Francis met with the media yesterday to talk about the upcoming contests against Maryland. Francis spoke about Maryland's dynamic on special teams, explaining that it will be as tough a challenge as we'll face. Saturday's game will be televised live on ESPN2 beginning at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Finally, a quick look at the weather forecast for Iowa City. Right now, the temperature is 54 degrees, and for KRUI News, this has been Megan Rowley
and Jiayun Wang.